Hi folks, and in this video what we're going to start look at is actually creating a way of calculating the objects within our current shopping list. So at the moment in time, if we go to play and we try and log in with Bob, we have our items, and if we click on them they currently append into an array. What I now want to do is have it so it actually outputs how much is in the bottom hand corner and a little button which will then calculate the overall price. So to do that, what we're going to do is quite simply add another canvas panel to our lovely shopping screen, and this one is quite literally just going to appear at the very bottom of the entire layout. And with this we're going to have a button and then a small piece of text. So first of all we'll add our text box to this one and we'll drop it in just here. Should appear just in this corner here. Fantastic. Just like so. Brilliant. Right, and within this text box what we're actually going to have is the combined total of the actual calculation, but first of all we have to have a prompt to make that calculation happen. So with that in mind we will have a button as well. We may actually want to get rid of this text box. I'm not entirely convinced on it. So what we will do is a calculation button. Here we go. And in calculation it'll have a text box on it, of course, and this will be to till. So this will then take us to the till if we press this button. Right, so what this is going to do is basically quickly work out the cost of all the objects put together. So if we go to onClick, in fact we'll get rid of this text box completely because we don't even need it for this purpose. So the to till button, or to purchase, whatever you want to actually write there, is perfectly up to you. So on the click button we're just going to click and we're going to have our lovely calculation button like so, and within this we're going to create another function just to neaten up our code a little bit, and we'll call this calculate to till. Just like so. Just to make sure it works we're going to drag it in and then connect the two to the actual button to the function that we're going to create. So the function of this is going to look something like this. So we're going to cast to the shop game mode, get game mode like so, and then we're going to want the shopping basket, and we're going to want to break said shopping basket like so. With this shopping basket, we're then actually going to have to remake it inside of a loop. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to do that by doing the following. We're going to drag out of the value and we're going to do a for each with break loop. We're then going to connect this executable to the game mode, and we're going to do the following. We're going to basically do a load of calculations adding the elements of the array of the object. So basically that's, if I press Gloomhaven, that's 100 credits. That information there, the credit cost, to the actual total cost. And we're simply doing that by adding this, pressing the plus button to have integer plus integer, and then connecting it to the array element. Now what we're then going to do from the top of this is do something quite interesting. We're actually going to go to the shopping game mode. We're going to then type shopping basket, get shopping, set shopping basket. There we go. And we're going to break this, or make it even. Connect the loop, and then what we're going to do is simply add this information into just here, and then connect the two dots here. So all the current information of the name will keep overwriting itself, so it's still there. That's perfectly fine. All the information of the actual objects itself and the actual current the value of them is exactly the same. It's then just the actual amount of values within here, within this loop, which will change. And just to check how much it changes to, we'll add a print string and just connect those values here. Because remember, this loop will happen over and over and over and over again until all the information within these objects has been done. So if we then have a look at the code, let's see what it actually does practically. So log in with Bob, password, let's add Gloomhaven and root, press to till, and it says 120. If we then add Dune on top, we then start having an error because it's then added the original price again, and then the cost of Dune. Let's just run it on its own again. So Bob1, password, and let's add all three of them this time. So it should say 150, and it does. So if we just have this to happen and do this once, we will be absolutely fine. And just to make sure it only happens once, just add a do once in there. Just in case. You never know with computer programming. Sometimes things like to play against you. Bingo. Awesome. And then if we have it, so we press this till button, it then takes us on to the next page. That would be fantastic. In fact, what we'll do is quickly build a mock-up of that. So if we go here, and then we go to interface blueprint, and we'll call this till. We'll just leave this blank for now. We'll look into that next video. And then we do a quick remove widgets, all widgets, then create a widget, then viewport, as always, add to viewport, and then just set this to till. What will happen then is it will only be able to do this information once as it goes through this checklist. So if we then go to play it again, go on to Bob1, password, excellent, buy all the items, press to till. It's then got our value at the top, which is then stored and then takes us straight to the till so we can play around with that. And that, folks, is how we add a basket together to build a final cost within Unreal.